Behold, the Uniformation GK3 Pro with its unusual different wavelength light source. Why? Does it work? Will it work with other resins? Let's find out. But first, let's look at the machine itself. First off, this is the updated GK3 Pro. It looks a lot like the older ones that hit the video scene in late 2024. That's not what you're gonna get. If you buy one of these, this is the one you get. I'm not gonna go super in depth into the stats because you can Google those or watch other reviews. I'm sure other people will talk more about it. But what makes this one different from the competition? Actually, I should mention some stats for context. This is a little under 10-inch screen, 16K, sub 20 micron resolution. The build area is a little smaller than the old GK2, but the screen's a bit better resolution. The build size and screen stats are about the same as a Saturn 4 Ultra 16K, but it's a couple centimeters more height, and it is much smaller than the GK3 Ultra. It's got a resin heater like other Uniformation machines, which is great in like a workshop in Wisconsin, like I have here, if it wasn't June and 1,000,000 degrees out here. It's got the same build play drip holder over here on the left that the GK3 Ultra has. Coincidentally, my favorite thing about the GK3 Ultra, or probably on any resin printer. And it has this cool resin tank system when it runs low. This is the one thing that was sorely needed with the GK2. Had a slightly smaller vat. I occasionally ran out of resin in the tank. It's very frustrating. The resin bottles are shared with the GK3 Ultra. Uniformation sells the resins in these bottles. It's 1.2 kilograms. It's a little more resin than a normal resin bottle. You need those to use the resin pump system. A lot of companies are doing this. They're selling you their resin in a special bottle used for like a feed system in the printer. Most of those are proprietary resins that you must use with their machine and their slicers and stuff. Uniformation does not do that. You can use any slicer you want. You can use any resin you want. And if you want to use, say you're into Sunlu ABS like because it's inexpensive, but you still want to use this feed system, Uniformation will sell you empty bottles, which is really cool. So nothing's locked down. That's pretty cool. Haygears doesn't do that, at least not that I'm aware of. There's one issue with this system though. I switched from gray to clear resin. You're gonna have a little bit of gray left in the lines. This does have a like clean purge system for the resin pump. What you do, you take the bottle out, you run that, it just shoots a bunch of air through and purges out a bunch of the resin. Put the new tank in, the new color, whatever, in my case clear, hit the button again, and it purges out some more. Supposedly, you're good to go after that, but I noticed I had to do this a few times before it finally ran clear, so there was quite a bit of cleanup. If you tend to use the same resin, like multiple bottles in a row, that's not a problem, but if you change over, just know there's a bit of work. Other than that, I had no problem with the system. I never ran out of resin. It works really well. Okay, so what exactly is unique about this printer? Well, it has a different light source. It's a bit nerdy, so stay with me for a minute. Most machines cure the resin using a light source with a wavelength of 405 nanometers. It's near ultraviolet. You can kind of see it, but it hurts your eyes. It's ionizing, so don't look at it. But the GK3 Pro uses a 385 nanometer light source. Smaller number, shorter wavelength, more energy. It does a bunch of things and supposedly doesn't penetrate quite as far into the resin. The different light source is different in a few different ways, but what it means to you is supposedly this prints with better precision. When the printer shines light into the resin, you got to balance over and under exposure. You want to land somewhere in the middle. If you're underexposed, things are too weak. If you're overexposed, you lose some detail. That's because the light coming out of the light source isn't perfectly laser straight. It's a bit more fuzzy. And if the light is shining for a longer period of time, further out on that fuzziness cures the resin more. So that means edges become less sharp, tiny holes might get filled in entirely. It's just not great for precision. And this problem is especially bad on clear resins, or really any resin that needs a longer exposure time. Uniformation claims this printer can print better and more accurate parts in clear resin, and they sent me some to try. This is their transparent crystal resin. I printed some ornately detailed minis in this stuff, and although it's hard to film clear things, they look really, really good. Not only do they look very detailed, I didn't have any problems getting the supports off, and it seems pretty durable considering it's not called a tough resin. Clearer resins, in my experience, tend to be very brittle. This is not that. The minis look good, but testing accuracy is a little different story. I mean, this die that I printed, this D6, this looks pretty good. I've tried printing D6s in a lot of different kinds of resin, and the clearer resins, especially the tougher clearer resins, tend to get warped out of square, out of the cubic shape. Now this isn't a perfect flawless cube, but it's really good. It's probably the best one in clear that I've printed, maybe except for those printed on a Formlabs printer. But But that's not all. I've always wanted a set of those mad scientist round goggles, but because my face is so weird, I've never found one that actually fit comfortably. So I took a 3D scan of my head, I modeled up some goggles, fit them perfectly to my weird nose in Blender, and added some, lenses, threaded caps so I could remove the lenses. This gave me a great excuse to try the bolt add-on in Blender. I still prefer the way Fusion does threads, but like Blender's not that bad. The tolerances are pretty tight on these models, in part because I don't know what I'm doing. I've tried printing nuts and bolts before, and in general, resin printed nuts and bolts just don't seem to work, with a few exceptions. So how do these turn out? Okay, so here they are. These are all 3D printed. This is the main goggle thing. These are two clear lenses, and these are the caps that screw onto there. The tricky part here is going to be the threads. So these are pretty tight threads. One of them is normal thread. This one is reverse thread. I might have those backwards. And the threads have to go in, and I don't want them to be too tight, and I don't want them to be too loose. And those have no wobble at all. And that one threads in just fine. This one, reverse thread, also threads in just fine. The only issue is the very low polygon count. You can see all the facets all the way around. Part of the reason I like doing them in Fusion a little better. They seem to be smoother, but the polygon count is much higher. Next problem, these clear lenses. So clear resin, it's pretty clear out of the printer, but I wouldn't say you can see through it. So I'm going to pull out this. You see, if you set the lens, this is 3D printed. This is straight off the printer. If you set it down, it's pretty clear. You can see right through it. You can read all the words. If you were to pick it up off of that, it suddenly goes all frosty. Now there's things you can do like spray paint them with clear, sand them nice and smooth, polish. There's a bunch of things you can do. This one has been clear spray painted. You can see it kind of helps. In fact, it's better if you just look at this. This is a plate. Half of it's spray painted, half of it's not. You can kind of tell which one is spray painted and gloss clear. If I lift it up, oh boy, can you tell which is gloss clear and which is just bare off the printer. And it makes a huge difference. That one simple little change, again, there are other things you can do, but if that's holding up, if you're looking through that, you're still not reading anything, right? Like it's better than that. This is pretty severe cataracts, right? But if you went in for cataract surgery and it came out like that, you're not going to want to pay the doctor, right? You still can't see. And I think this is a limitation with 3D printed clear, like straight off the printer, which is why I bought these. These are just, I think these are just acrylic. They're cut acrylic. They're the same size, 40 millimeter. Drop it down there. See, it's clear, you can see through, but if you pick it up, if I hold that right up to the camera lens, it's still nice and clear. Assemble this thing. Try to be very careful not to get fingerprints on there. Those thread in really nice. Pretty cool, right? I got these strap loops here, but I don't even need the straps. Since it fits perfectly around my nose, with up here, it actually holds in place until I look down. So I do need straps. Okay, that's all fine and good for clear resins. How does it work for normal resins? Well, exactly the same as any other resin printer. You don't have to worry about that. I printed tons of minis in like cheapo Sunlu ABS-like resin, and they look basically indistinguishable from the same mini and resin printed on a Saturn IV Ultra 16K. They all look really good. The different light source still works with all the normal resins. I did have fewer failures on the GK3 Pro, however. There are other benefits to a 385 nanometer light source. There's some resins specifically designed for it, and I can go into that in the future if you're interested. It's not really part of the scope of this video, but the print accuracy on this one is really good. And these clear resin prints look really good. I want to stress, these are straight off the printer. I did not spray them with any gloss clear. I didn't sand nothing. I didn't polish nothing. They went straight from the printer into the wash station with not even the clearest IPA, and straight onto the cure station, add a couple of fingerprints, and that's what you're seeing. If you get this printer and this resin, these are the results you can expect. I do have a few criticisms. First off, that purge system, which I went over before. Haygears and Formlabs also have bottle systems that top up the resin. They seem less complicated, and also you're not going to contaminate anything one bottle to the next. They don't have piping to do that. They seem simpler, and they just seem to work better. Both of those machines are far more expensive than this, however, and you have to use their resins and their everything, their whole software suite. Uniformation is at least completely open source, and that's kind of cool. I use Chitubox for everything. I didn't even use Uniformation Slicer. My second criticism, the GK3 Pro It's just not that big. The build area, the screen size, it's just a little bit smaller than the GK2, the previous model. There is, however, another GK3 called the GK3 Ultra that is much larger. I got one of them over there. It's freaking awesome. It's almost big enough. It's also more expensive though, so there's that. And if you don't feel like paying extra for this different light source, the normal GK3 has a standard 405 nanometer light source. Same screen, same build size, same purge system. I don't have one of those, so I can't tell you how it works. I assume it's also a good printer, and you can save some money. If you're interested in either one, there's a link down below. If you buy through that link, it helps me out a lot. We'll see you next time.